And I'm Joshua Moore. Together we are excited to present to you our project, Nextbite.ai.
But before we jump in, raise your hand if you ever opened your fridge, seen some random leftover ingredients, and thought, you know what, I'll just order takeout instead.
Well, you're not alone. In fact, many Americans every day, from busy home cooks, families, or any average person simply juggling life right now, have had the exact same feelings. However, these same feelings often lead to people wasting upwards of $1,900 worth of groceries every year. So let's play a quick little game. In this little basket, I have some stale bread, bruised banana, and some spinach.
So who here can come up with a recipe on the spot using these ingredients? Anyone brave enough to shout one out?
A spinach banana sandwich. A salad.
Okay.
A salad.
I didn't think about that.
Banana lettuce sandwich.
Well, those are all really great suggestions. Unfortunately, not many people can think of anything to make with ingredients like this. In fact, because of that, it often leads to this type of food going to waste, and upwards of 120 billion pounds of food in general going to waste each year. That's enough to fill the Rose Bowl Stadium daily.
And that's exactly why we built Nextbite.ai. So Nextbite.ai is a smart recipe generator. First, you enter your leftover ingredients. Then you can add your dietary preferences if you have any, such as gluten-free, vegan, low-calorie, high-protein. Then you can add your meal size and your meal time. So whether you want to eat this for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even just as a snack. Then you can add your number of servings, and then any foods you want to avoid, such as if you want to avoid mayonnaise within the recipe. And in seconds, it delivers a quick, easy, and pricable recipe tailored to you.
This is perfect because it doesn't just save you food, but it also saves you an incredible amount of money. And of course, it makes meal planning for pretty much any scenario as easy as possible for pretty much anybody you can think of, from people who simply want to reduce their carbon footprint and waste on the world, from people who have big families and have to juggle multiple meals a day, and especially health-conscious eaters who want to make sure they can still create fresh meals with whatever they have lying around.
And under the hood, it's AI working through patterns in thousands of recipes. So even the most unusual ingredient combinations become doable meals. So now let's take a closer look at the technology behind Nextbite.ai. So on the front end, we use Vue and React. This setup makes the app fast and responsive, while Bootstrap gives it a clean, user-friendly design.
And on the back end, we use Fast API, which, as the name says, is fast, and makes it so that any ingredients you input within the AI system can return to you a recipe in a matter of seconds, while also saving that same recipe in MongoDB Atlas, so that users like you can enjoy whatever genuinely great recipes come to mind thanks to our patented AI system.
So the AI pipeline works in three main steps. First, your ingredients are converted into embeddings using Hugging Face. This way, AI understands what you have. Next, search our 20,000 plus recipe data set from Kaggle to find relevant recipes. This retrieval process is important so the AI builds on real examples. And finally, Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash model combines those results to generate a fresh and realistic recipe that feels tailor-made just for you.
And of course, the way our recipes actively work, or specifically the website itself works, is that any ingredients you input into Nextbite.ai is saved and compared to other recipes inside of our database. And it uses an embedding-based search with your recipes, making it so that it's not only matched with the recipes in our database, but it's also basically given to you in a matter of seconds due to our fast API system. And of course, because of the incredible AI system that we have used, it also makes sure that any recipe that you receive is grounded within reality. So you're not getting any unsafe, food combinations, and always getting something that you can actually realistically make with whatever ingredients you provide Nextbite AI.
So now, time to show it into action. So on the top, we have a simple navigation bar to make it simpler to navigate between different sections of the page. We also have a logo and a button called Ask AI that takes you to the recipe generator page. So here we have the main banner section, which highlights our mission, turn leftovers into your next bite. Follow the little text that explains that this is an AI recipe generator that makes easy meals for whatever you have at home. And then below that, we have a call to action button called Try It Now. That again takes you to the recipe generator page. So scrolling down, we have an About section that explains more about why we built this tool, followed by a How It Works section that is broken down into 3 simple steps. First, tell us what you have. Second, get instant recipes. And third, start cooking. Next, we added a food storage tip section with expert advice to cut down on waste. Anything from pantry and fridge organization to food safety basics, and even what to do in the event of a power outage. And then at the bottom, we have a simple footer. So now, let's take a look at the recipe generator page. So here, we'll be able to enter leftover ingredients. So for this demo, we added a can of tuna, a bagel, eggs, and pickles. And then for our dietary preference, we added low calorie, our meal size, small, our meal type, lunch, 1 serving, and to avoid mayonnaise. So once you click the generate recipe button, it creates a recipe for you in seconds. So it starts off with a short introduction, a recipe title, a short description of the recipe, followed by ingredients, equipment, and step-by-step directions. And this is what it created, a zesty tuna and egg bagel stack, entirely made from our leftovers, and it was delicious. It's a perfect example of how Nextbite.ai can turn what you already have in your kitchen into a tasty meal. So looking ahead, an exciting direction for Nextbite.ai is giving users the chance to explore more global cuisines. So imagine entering your ingredients and not only discovering familiar dishes, but also recipes inspired from around the world.
Another potential future addition could be the ability to simply take pictures of the ingredients you have, and using computer vision, the AI system can detect what you have and give you a recipe without any typing being required whatsoever.
And finally, we want to make it easier for users to save their favorite recipes. This way, they can go back to dishes they loved, build a personal library, and make Nextbite.ai a long-term cooking companion.
We here at Nextbite.ai want to make sure that Nextbite itself isn't just a fun little tool you can use in the kitchen, but it's something you can use to basically save food, save money, and reduce your carbon footprint and waste on the world itself. We want Nextbite.ai to become a revolutionary piece of equipment when it comes to the culinary arts. And we believe that with your help, Nextbite.ai can help many people around the world enjoy their Nextbite.
Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We really enjoyed sharing our project with you and the potential it has to grow. We'd love to keep this conversation going. That being said, please feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. We'd be happy to chat, share ideas, or even explore future possibilities with you.
And with all of that being said, we'd like to open up the floor for discussion. Do we have any questions?
Really glad to see you're considering a photo rather than typing in. That gives not just the ingredients, but the quantity of, you're not saying eggs, it's saying, oh, you've got 3 eggs. The second, is there a way to save a profile, or are you considering that so that there's things like you have milk, dry ingredients like noodles that aren't in the fridge, salt, pepper, something so that it knows, oh, we've already got something on the shelf, and not get a recipe that says, oh, this is great, but then I don't have oregano. And it's something that you do. So, is that something you're considering in the future?
Yes, that is something we're considering for the future. Being able to adjust recipes depending on what you have is very important when it comes to cooking in general, and Nextbite.ai is definitely going to be implementing these things in the future of the project. Yes.
I'm really curious, what can it do with the stuff in the box at the beginning of the presentation? Did you type them in?
Well, during the testing process, we did come up with a recipe from here. However, I think for some reason, I can't fully remember it off the top of my head. Do you remember that recipe?
Yeah.
It was a French toast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So I love the idea that you're able to take pictures of ingredients. What about like receipts and like from grocery shopping, and so it recognizes what you actually have? Is that a capability that you guys can incorporate?
Yeah, for sure. It's really something that we can implement in the future
Yeah.
within Nextbite.ai.
Very cool.
I think we'll take the last question.
Have you considered pitching this to the Department of Health?
We should.
You should consider pitching to them.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that